Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot also.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders. Let's talk Penguins and Rangers. But let's not talk about Flyers, because they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
Episode 110 of the Friends and Rivals Tomcast coming at you live and hot. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are...
In protest, this is Steven Wojtowicz.
Tom Jer.
Tom Lorita, obviously.
Are you fucking... You told these guys to fucking say that, didn't you?
I swear to God, I did not. It's brilliant, though. I fucking love it. God, Nick, again, you have given the Tomcast what you have given us in the past 2 weeks has been phenomenal. Can't wait to see what you got this week. Can't wait.
I'll try to top it. I don't know.
All right out of the gate, this is going to be a kind of continuation a little bit of our first segment last week when we talked about calls going and being biased for players. And just when you think you had it all figured out, the Bruins and Devils play a game on Saturday night, which Steve had called a potential Eastern Conference final preview, which certainly could be. I don't know why I'm sharing sound here because this video does not have sound. But in that game, with about a little over 2 minutes left in the third period, Mikey McLeod carries the puck up and Marchand goes at him and tries to knock his head off. On this type of play, you would have figured, because it was Marchand, some sort of penalty would have been called on this play because it looked dirty as hell. But to me, and Steve, I'm kind of curious as to your reaction on this. The initial point of contact looked like his elbow or his arm.
McLeod's.
Yeah, the initial point of contact on McLeod looked to be kind of his arm. And if that means anything, but his head did go back in a weird type of way for sure.
When you're aiming for somebody's head, sometimes you do hit something else first.
Yeah.
Something else could get in the way.
I hear you, but that's the only defense I can possibly think of as to why the referees did not call at least a penalty on this play. I can't figure it out how he got away with this.
If I am not mistaken, after the game, somebody from the league office said something to the effect of a player with the puck has got to not put themselves in a vulnerable position. Almost like making it McLeod's fault that this happened.
That's a bunch of horse shit.
Victim blaming. He shouldn't have been dressed that way.
This guy, what if this was Hughes? Is that a penalty? Is it because this happened against McLeod that he got away with it?
Regardless of who it was against.
I agree with you. This
should
have been 5 minutes and game misconduct.
I tend to agree with you on
this. Is a guy that's got a reputation of this kind of shenanigans.
Right. And the refs letting him get away with this is only going to make him do it more.
And don't give me the bullshit argument. There's 2 minutes left in the game. You can't make a call like that with 2 minutes left.
It was a one goal.
Whose argument is that?
People, I'm sure a bunch of fucking douchebags from Boston.
Oh, well, yeah. I was thinking real people, not like Boston fans. I was wondering who was saying that.
What were the repercussions of this for McLeod health-wise in the past couple of days?
Well, he didn't practice today.
They didn't practice today?
He didn't practice today.
Oh, he didn't. Okay. I'm sure Lindy Ruff said he was day to day?
Right.
Yeah,
we're not going to get they actually did come out and say he was getting further testing for concussion protocol. So it wasn't like they gave you the generic upper body injury bullshit. They were very specific about it. I'm sure intentionally to make sure it be known that they weren't happy there wasn't anything called.
No, but if he didn't turn away right before the hit happened, he would have been cracked right in the head. I mean, McLeod clearly turns his head and just takes a less of a hit in the head.
Less of it on the chin. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, like he turned his head pretty hard and almost got away from it, but he still gets hit in the head. I mean, it's like he saw Marchand coming, and it wasn't like he didn't. It's not that I don't think he put himself in danger because he's trying to get the puck. It's that Marchand finishes the check and goes high.
Right.
And, finishing the check's one thing, but he clearly just goes right for it. It's just. I think if you didn't turn, we'd be talking about Marchand getting suspended for like a game or two because he's from Boston and whatever bullshit. Even though he's a repeat offender and he should have gotten called up for here because he clearly went for the head. But
now keep in mind, this is Mike McLeod. Mike McLeod is 6'2". Brad Marchand is listed at 5'9". So Bill. Can you do the math there? That's 5 inches.
Yeah, that's 5 inches.
So there's a 5-inch height difference between the two.
Marchand.
So how is he getting without going in up, like standing up, right? Everybody knows you don't hit somebody straight up. You try and get down low so that way you keep your balance, but he's almost standing straight up.
Yeah, but McLeod is kind of bending over a little bit too.
Sure.
But again,
if Marchand was in a better
hit.
hitting position, which is knees bent, he wouldn't have gotten him in the head.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have been off balance after he made the hit.
This further goes to my point and our point for the past 2 years that there is zero consistency with the refs calls and by the player's safety. I mean, the player's safety didn't come out and fine Marchand on this play for at least a fine, let alone a suspension.
Now there we got to go back to the consistency issue because I mean, not to dredge up a sore subject, but Alex is different than anything Troop has done 7 times over the last year. And yeah, every time he doesn't get a penalty. So well, there is consistency. They ignore.
But Troop was not hitting anybody in the head, Bill.
I think I could bring videos that show otherwise. But
what the Crosby in the playoffs last year? Yeah.
Oh, more than that. More than Sid. More than Sid. Certainly more than Sid. I think there's a guy in Chicago who still doesn't know how many fingers I'm holding up.
Listen, that hit on Athanasiou was shoulder to chest.
You don't have any fingers. You're not holding up any. Let the record reflect that Bill is holding up 2 fingers.
Your Honor, please.
Oh, sorry.
So you're saying because Trouba gets away with it, Marchand should get away with it too, right?
Well,
I'm not saying you're putting words in my mouth that I did not say. No, nobody should get away with it.
It sounded like you were implying that.
He's merely saying
get away with it, but
that the only
it is consistent. They ignore it.
Is inconsistency.
Yeah. Nope. You're 100% right. You are 100% right.
Thank you.
Very inconsistent are the refs, the NHL. They all suck.
Yeah, they are the worst. Like, I still feel like Angel Hernandez would be the best NHL referee if he just decided to pick up the sport tomorrow.
He learned how.
I mean, they're that bad. The NHL refs are that bad.
Yeah. The fact that everybody knows his name just goes to prove how bad he is, right? You should never know an official or an umpire or a ref. You should never know their name because they've been doing the job well and you don't have any reason to know their name.
Yeah.
Well, in the Eastern Conference, the push for the playoffs continues. And as we speak right now, the Washington Capitals are about to beat the Islanders, and the Toronto Maple Leafs and Florida Panthers are in overtime still.
Toronto just won on
Toronto just won.
Pajama Boy goal.
Wow.
Oh,
who's
Even
Pajama
though
Boy?
That.
A little bit of life now.
So the Panthers will pick up a point and move to 92 points. And the Islanders will sit at 91 with the Penguins waiting tomorrow night to play the Chicago Blackhawks, who are playing the Minnesota Wild tonight at home and losing 1-0 early in the first period, or actually in the first period. It's not early anymore. So who did the Islanders play in the last game?
Montreal at home. On
Montreal
Wednesday.
at home. Look, the Penguins obviously have the easiest schedule of either of those teams coming up, with Chicago and Columbus, 1-1, one at home, one on the road. So in my thinking, they're controlling their own destiny.
Well, it's I mean, in this mathematical fact, as long as the Islanders don't score 3 times in the last minute, 2 seconds, that they control their own destiny. They'll have the opportunity to if they win out to have at least as many points as the Panthers, who have the tiebreaker, but they would have more points than the Islanders if they win out.
That's correct. That loss tonight to the Caps is a killer.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yep, they need help now. They definitely need help. So, gonna be pretty interesting game. Pittsburgh and Florida can't. I mean, Pittsburgh's got 2 games left, so they have 2 chances to keep this going. But I think they will have the tiebreaker over. Oh, they won't have the tiebreaker over the Isles if they somehow end up with the same amount of points. Right, Bill? Because I think it's.
I don't think the Penguins have a tiebreaker against. They definitely don't have. Yeah, they don't have any tiebreakers. No tiebreakers. They got to be ahead.
So if they lose tomorrow, then in regulation, Isles would have controlled destiny again. But if the Penguins win, then they control destiny, and you got the final game. I mean, and the Penguins and Isles are basically both have easy. They don't have very difficult opponents left in their games left. But Florida, I think
Carolina.
They have Carolina.
Yep.
So if they lose in regulation,
Carolina's got something to play for.
They do. If they lose in regulation, I'm trying to think. I don't think the Isles can catch them. I think they have to I think they need Pittsburgh to lose, because Florida would have 43 wins tonight. Oh wait, is it regulation wins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Regulation wins. Well, they're both tied at 40. So actually, it's not impossible for both teams, Isles and Pittsburgh, to get in, right? Because if Florida loses next game regulation, Isles win regulation, they'd be tied. Isles would have 41 wins. Florida's 40, right? Oh wait, I'm an idiot. That's regulation plus overtime wins.
Yes, regular ROW is you need the RW.
Yeah, never mind. Nope, they have one more win in regulation. So I guess what would be the next tiebreaker?
What's the second tiebreaker?
Is it
head to head?
Yeah, I think it's NHL tiebreakers. See, we're such professionals here. We do all this research and ahead of time. Oh man! All right, let's continue. This is we'll come back to this one later.
Jesus.
Can I talk about a little bit of controversy in Devil's Land when it comes to the playoffs?
Please do.
Is it about tickets?
Yeah.
Tickets. It's about tickets.
There was a pre-sale today for season ticket, full, partial, flex, anybody that had any sort of season ticket package, where they could, get in early to buy tickets for the upcoming first round of the playoffs. Do you know what would your guess be if you didn't see the news on the cheapest ticket available?
Oh boy, I'm gonna guess.
So a ticket that would regularly be about $45.
I'm gonna go 150. Is my guess.
Nick?
I'm gonna go 500.
Come on, Nick.
Whoa,
Let's get real.
That's a little batshit crazy, Nick. It's the Devils. Come on.
All right, that was my guess. All right. Tommy.
I'm assuming Tom knows.
I can't guess because I know.
$225.
No,
I win. Nick overbid. I win. Price is Right rules.
I thought it was 250. But regardless, it's
with
fucking
fees,
ridiculous.
it winds up being around 250.
Yeah.
Per
Yeah.
seat, which is that's ridiculous. It's the first round of the playoffs. You haven't been to the playoffs forever. Throw the fans a little bone.
They know who
you don't have to.
is.
If you're going to be 225 for the first round, that means the Stanley Cup ticket's going to be like 450.
Well, is it really true that Rangers fans bought 10,000 of them? Because that's just hilarious.
They couldn't. They can buy them like on the resale market.
I thought I saw someone like the Brat Pack or someone say that like 10,000 Ranger fans already bought.
Unless they had
Devils
season ticket plans, there would have been no way for them to get them.
I mean, it's possible.
Wow. Then you've invested already too much into the Devils, more than you probably have for than you have in Rangers tickets this season. I will now jump off my soapbox for now.
I like Steve's soapbox. It's a lot of fun.
Gouging the fans.
This is Rutgers marketing 101, right? Rutgers got good for 2 seasons, and all of a sudden it was you have to donate in order to get parking, and they went overboard too quickly and pushed a lot of people away.
But now they have such a powerhouse football program.
Right, exactly.
So wait, so Steve, you texted out that little goofy thing that the NHL posted on the Twitterverse today with the if the Stanley Cup playoffs started today, and there was like three teams that were set.
3 out of 16 teams were filled out.
Doesn't that speak to the competitive balance that's in the league? That where we have like 2 games left in the entire season, and there's 3 spots that are solidified in the NHL playoffs.
I mean, I would say so. We know the Devils and Rangers are making it. They've already clinched their spot. It was just a matter of where they're going to fall in on the bracket.
But I kind of like that. I'm all right with all of that. I don't think any teams would be unhappy.
That's what
I think this is great for the sport.
It's where the salary cap comes in, right?
That was my little take on that. I like the tweet. I like the text. All right, let's go take a ride in the Metro. Sponsored by Rich Wholesome Nestle Quick.
Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. 1 sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink. Then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
Bill, we will start in Penguins land.
Well, what can I tell you?
Goaltending.
So after no, I won't go into goals. After another week, it looks like the Penguins have their destiny in their own hands again, as we kind of already mentioned. After the Islanders, lost tonight, which surprised me. They were playing well enough, in a Washington team that really has nothing to play for. I assumed the Islanders were going to win this one, but that's just like what happens in the final few days of the season when you're in a dogfight. Like things just really shift crazily quickly. So the Penguins, after a week where we saw them lose to the Devils, that was a week ago. We were talking about that on our last show. That game was going on. After that, they had to win in Minnesota, home against Minnesota 4-1, and then they went to Detroit, who just beat up on them a couple weeks ago in a very pivotal game. But they were able to take care of business in Detroit on Saturday, and they won that one 5-1. And so now they're set up for the last 2 games against Chicago and Columbus, and And, I remember saying on the last podcast, there's no way the Pens are going to win out. They just don't, how many 4-game winning streaks have they had this season? I think maybe like twice it's happened. And they've been so inconsistent over the last few weeks that it's not something I expected. And it's still not something, that I'm sure is going to happen. But they are set up with some shitty opponents for the last 2 games. And boy, if or when they do lose one of them, it's going to hurt. That one's going to hurt because it's probably going to knock them out if they don't take all these points. But they do have the opportunity there to take all the points. And in thinking about it, I mean, the up and down way the Penguins have been all season, the amount of how bad they've been as a third period team. I mean, they just don't deserve to be in the playoffs. And if they don't get there, if they, win, if they win a game and lose something in overtime and miss by a point, there's no tragedy in it. There's no, we were so close. I mean, they had every opportunity all season to put themselves in a playoff spot, and they just repeatedly don't take advantage. I kind of expect them with this little tiny bit of breathing space that the Islanders kind of gave them tonight, that they're going to go choke it against Chicago tomorrow. That's just kind of the way things have gone this season. But that they do have, they are seeming to come together a little bit. Crosby had a big game in Detroit, had 3 points and is starting to, I mean, if he gets hot, if that line gets hot, I mean, that could certainly carry them into the playoffs, where they would simply get obliterated by the Hurricanes or the Bruins or the Devils. I mean, it's just, if they get there, it's just not a happy destination where they're going to end up anyway. But exciting hockey, an opportunity with the playoffs on the line. I think in a lot of ways, as much as I've been kind of up and down on the Penguins all season, that's really kind of what you want as a fan, to have that chance to get that playoff berth, and to be in it in the last couple of games. It's important to have important games. It's it's a great thing to be playing meaningful hockey at the end of April, and I don't take that for granted, even though they're going for their 17th whatever playoff appearance in a row. So it's not all the shitty things that I've said about them, but exciting for a few days, and then but I'm still can't help but dread what's going to happen when the playoffs begin, if they make it. So that's what's going on for the Pens.
All right, Steve, Carolina loses in regulation time tonight to the Ottawa Senators. Whew. Big opportunity for the Devils.
They have a pretty light final 2 games, so we'll see what they can do. But we'll take a step back and we'll talk about the past week. We'll just start with the game against Columbus last Thursday, which was an 8-1 drubbing that saw Johnny Hockey leave mid-game due to illness. I'm sure you can speculate as to what that illness was.
Cramps.
Sucking.
11 different players with points. Hughes, 2 goals and 2 assists, his first 4-point game of his career. In the 2 home games in New Jersey against Columbus, they outscored them 15-2. And it was cool to see Ryan Graves get on the scoreboard again. 3 games against Columbus. He scored goals in each of them. 3 of his 8 goals, all against the Columbus Blue Jackets. So fuck you, Columbus and Johnny Hockey. They followed that up on Saturday night with a loss to Boston, and what I thought was a possible Eastern Conference Final matchup. All 3 goals were scored in the first 7 minutes, and unfortunately, both goals scored by Boston came off the stick of Pavel Zacha. So he got a little revenge on us. The 1 goal the Devils scored by Jesper Bratt was assisted by Jack Hughes, and that was his 96th point of the season, tying him for the franchise record in points in a season. So he's got a couple games to put that one away, and it just makes you wonder, where would they have been if they just started out a little bit better? They were solid the rest of the game after they gave up those 2 goals. If they would have just started out a little bit better, could they have come out on top? But Boston did prevent them from using their speed. Aside from the two games, there was a report that Timo Meyer's contract talks have been pushed off to the end of the season. They're letting him focus on playing, and they're letting him get acclimated to New Jersey and make sure he likes the area before they move on with those discussions. And Luke Hughes has signed his contract. He's expected to play in at least one of the final two games. I would expect tomorrow at home, give him the game at home as opposed to giving him the game on the road would be more meaningful. And this week's useless stat, Mackenzie Blackwood, who was in net against Boston on Saturday night, has faced 40 or more shots 4 times this season. Vitek Vanacek hasn't had a game where he's faced more than 38. So is that defensive coverage? Is that who he's playing against? It's weird, just a weird stat out there, and not sure if it really has any meaning whatsoever.
Well, do you think? I'm just wondering, like, if you've watched some of those games, do you think that Blackwood is maybe leaving more rebounds out?
It's quite possible. He has been known to leave those meaty rebounds out there for easy chances. So that's definitely a possibility. Astute point by one William Fougere.
That was very astute, Bill.
So to wrap up the season, Tuesday at home versus Buffalo. Again, I'm expecting that to be the game that Luke Hughes gets in. And then Thursday at Washington to finish out the regular season campaign.
Over across the river for the Rangers this past week. Thank God the back-to-back games are over, and I hope in the playoffs we don't have to play back-to-back, because the Rangers just are god-awful in the second game of the back-to-backs. It fucking awful. So before we get to this back half of that back-to-back, they play a game against the Tampa Bay Lightning on the 5th. And this was a very entertaining, really, really good hockey game. Lots of hitting. There was fights. There was great hits. There was fights after hits. There was goals scored. It was a wonderful game to watch between two really good hockey teams. Kreider had a pair of goals. Mott had a pair of goals in a Rangers 6-3 win over the Lightning on Wednesday. And then they go to St. Louis, and Jesus, I was tweeting at Colin Stevenson, who's the Rangers beat reporter for Newsday, because this was the most boring game I have ever witnessed in my 25 plus years watching hockey. I felt bad for him that he had to watch this game live.
It's kind of funny because he was saying that the same thing about reading your tweets.
I'm sure I am positive he was. But Jesus Christ, was that a boring fucking hockey game? It was Tarasenko's return to St. Louis along with Mikko Nicola. In the return, they both got their videos. They both got their standing ovations, all that stuff. In his return, Tarasenko did have a goal. But the Rangers do lose in overtime 3-2 in a game they really did not even deserve a point in. And then, you have to play a Columbus Blue Jackets team on Saturday night. I didn't watch any of this game. I had a family commitment on Saturday that I was with. The Rangers took care of the Columbus Blue Jackets very easily, 4-0. And then they play the Buffalo Sabres tonight in the second to last game of the regular season. Then they face Eugene Levy again, who beats them in a shootout this time. And Keandre Miller really coughed up the puck in the third period and basically gave Buffalo the opportunity to go to overtime and go to the shootout to win it. So good job, Keandre Miller. Good to see you're in playoff form already. Last game of the regular season is Thursday evening against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And yeah, the Rangers are, 1 point behind the Devils now for third place. And regardless of what's going to happen, I still think they're in third place, regardless of, what happens.
The Devils need 1
Thursday.
point in the final 2
Yeah.
to secure home ice. That's what it boils down to.
Basically. And they're going to get it tomorrow night against a Buffalo Sabres team who's coming off a good solid win tonight with all those good feelings that they're going to have to just get smoked by the Devils tomorrow night. So, Steve, put your money on the Devils. And lastly, we will go to the Islanders.
Go out tonight, Buffalo. Go hit Peter Luger's tonight. Get that steak. Enjoy your victory in New York.
Oh, they already have. Eugene Levy is already partying it up.
Well, Isles had a pretty good week last week. 2 big wins. Combined scoring of, 10 goals to 1 in 2 games. Biggest monkey off the back was beating Tampa after a small little chance to win a couple games against to try to solidify this playoff spot. They lost the previous week to Tampa and Carolina, and then the next week they went home, played Tampa, won 6-1, and basically just kind of steamrolled them. They did not have a good. Tampa looked flat, or the Isles were just outworking them everywhere. And I knowing that Tampa is what kind of team they are, they definitely looked a little slow, a little tired. And basically Isles just whooped their ass. I mean, it was second period, all the goals happened. It was 4 goals in the Isles. In the second, once they got to a 3-goal lead, it felt like it probably was all it needed. A couple more goals in the third period. Sorokin was great as always. Goals from everywhere. Pelech, Nelson, Palmieri, Pulak, Holmstrom, Horvat all scored. Horvat getting the goal was his 38th of the year, but he hasn't had a lot of goals since coming to the Isles and since his first week and a half with Barzal. So it was good to see him get a goal. I was hoping he'd get to 40 this year, which now he's going to have to get the last 2. It looks like tomorrow on Wednesday, the last game of the year. So we then had a game. The next game was at home again against Philly. This was kind of like, we gotta beat these guys, and they beat the shit out of them. Fuck the Flyers. Shutout. Sorokin has league leading 6th shutout of the season. He'll likely end up with 6 unless he can blank the Montreal Canadiens to win out the year. But that was a pretty interesting stat that there's not really any of our goalies that had 6. He's lone guy with 6 on the year. So I think that says a lot about really the scoring in this league right now. It feels like everyone's scoring at a higher rate. I'm sure if you look at the year-over-year numbers, it's probably accurate, but surprising that no one had more than 5 going at this point of the year, to me at least. And the number of those games that Sorokin could have had, he had 1-goal wins were pretty much garbage goals that they probably could have avoided. So he could have had a couple more. So pretty good, interesting thing. Goals from a few different areas. Mayfield, Bolduc, Nelson, Fashing. Not only of those, Nelson's the only real goal scorer, but 2 defensemen and Fashing chipping in, and it looked pretty good. So that was really nice to see. Those 2 big wins at home. Obviously, they lost tonight in Washington, and score was, I think, 5-2. But that game was over very quickly, and I'll talk about that one next week. Either way, I guess. So Isles, news-wise, no Barzal news. Likely not going to make it back in time unless the Isles make the playoffs and he miraculously makes it back. And there hasn't been much chatter at all. Parise nominated for the Masterson from the Isles. I don't think he's winning it this year, but he's played hell of a good year, and likely will come back next year. That's what kind of like the rumor is, or word on the street. And then lastly, just a shout out to Matthew Maggio, who signed his ATO with Bridgeport this week. He's a 5th rounder, 2022. So last year's draft. He had 54 goals in 66 games, 111 points on the year in the OHL. And he just seemed to be having he was constantly being on my Twitter feed just all season, goal, goal, goal. Hey, maybe he's the guy that comes out of nowhere and is a big goal scorer for the Isles down the road. But nice to see a fifth rounder get a ATO and have a really good season. He played for the Windsor Spitfires, who got knocked out in the first round in the OHL playoffs. And that kind of rounds out the week. One game left for the Isles. Montreal on Wednesday at home. So that's a do or die. I'm an idiot also, just to remind everybody that the the Florida only actually has one more point than the Isles. I was looking at it. I don't know why I thought they had two after tonight's game. So realistically, Florida could lose, Isles could win, and Isles would make it in no matter what. They do need help, but it's not as dire as needing both Florida and Pittsburgh to lose, I guess. Or I guess they both have to lose. Either way, they both can make it. Pittsburgh could make it. Pittsburgh and the Isles could both make it. Florida could still lose. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. But either way, it's they need help now at this point.
Sorry, Buffalo can still make it. They're mathematically still alive. They still got 3 games left. Jesus.
Yeah, they
bad
win
news
all
for all of our
games.
teams. That'd be bad news for both of our teams if they're even in the conversation.
They can make 93 points. It would mean the Isles and Pittsburgh would have to get less than 93. So Isles would have to lose in overtime. Pittsburgh would have to get a maximum of 2 points. So that they can get, and Buffalo would win all 3 games. It would be very difficult.
I'm going to jump in here and do a little pre-Bill trivia for everyone. So I feel bad sometimes for Bill because he never gets to participate.
You feel
in the trivia
bad.
Portion.
You feel bad for Bill.
Yeah, because he never gets to
I-
participate.
I
He's so
don't-
smart, and he never gets
I
to
don't
show
think
it
you
off.
feel bad for Bill.
He's so smart, he never gets to show it off. So
That's true. I'm
Eric-
damn smart.
Erik Karlsson became the 6th ever defenseman to reach the 100-point mark. Can you name the other 5?
No. Me? No.
You're so smart, Bill. I wanted you to brag.
I would
Is
say
it 5 players or
5
Defenseman.
different players, not 5
5
occasions. 5 different
Yeah,
players.
Okay.
Bobby Orr.
All right.
Bobby Orr
Obvious.
did it.
Obvious.
Okay.
Ray
Paul
Bork.
Coffey.
Paul Coffey.
Paul Coffey did it. Bork
Bork?
did not.
Oh.
Leach came
Si-
close, but Leach did not do it.
Did he not? I was gonna.
Or
give my
no,
next
no,
guess
I'm
was
sorry.
gonna
He had
be Brian
100.
Leach.
He had 102 points in 91-92.
Brian
what I
Leach
thought.
did it.
Yes. Yes.
All right. We got 3. Ooh, we're hot.
So there's 2 more.
Ooh. This is where you gotta think 80s. Gotta think 80s defenseman.
Gotta be 80s.
Guys like who's that
Wasn't
guy for the Winnipeg
wasn't-
Jets?
Wasn't
Phil Housley.
Bill Housley is a no.
Oh,
But I like where your head is at. There's definitely a player of that era, of that ilk, that you're gonna get.
there's so we should start to. How many guesses do we get?
Oh,
we
we're-
should
well,
just throw
don't
names out
worry.
there. Nicholas Lidstrom?
No,
No. And Chris Chelios was the other one that came. That
no.
was in my mind. No.
Zubov came close. Zubov was in the 80s, but I don't think Zubov ever got cracked
No.
100.
Hmm.
Hmm.
White men from the 80s.
Yeah. Gonchar?
Only
No.
against the Rangers, Nick.
You're up to 9 guesses. I'll give you 3 more. So that way you could have gotten 6 right and 6 wrong.
Wasn't Zarly Zalapsky.
No. Was it somebody who played with Gretzky?
Let's start naming guys who it
No.
wasn't.
Was not a guy who played with Gretzky.
And I don't think there was another Penguin to do it either. I don't even know if Coffey did it as a Penguin.
No, I think he did it as an Oiler, Bill.
Well, he definitely did it as an Oiler. I don't know if he did it, but I think he did it more than once.
Did McInnes do it in Calgary
Ooh, good one.
or in St. Louis?
McInnes is one of them.
Oh, excellent.
Ooh.
Good guess. Hmm.
One
So
more.
you've got 2 guesses to get 1 player.
Was it prior to 2000?
Yes.
Is 80s?
It might have even been 7. No, I would say 80s. Yes.
Was it Billy? I don't think it was Brad Park, was it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he got it either.
What about
He
the?
did it in 1978, 1979.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
season.
Wow. No,
Oh,
either maybe a
there goes my
Bruin.
guess.
I don't think
Maybe
it's
a
popping.
Bruin. Maybe was it Brad Park?
Well, let's throw it out there. Yeah.
Gotta
How
be
about
All right,
time
Brad
limit
Park.
on this thing too. So
Brad Park.
no.
I like? Was Nixon
One
official guest Dennis
more-
Potvin?
Yes.
Is that a bad
Potvin
guess?
sucks. No.
No, it wasn't popping. Maybe Montreal? Canadian?
Oh, Larry
Canadian-
Robinson? No,
Larry
he was more
Robinson?
defensive. No, I don't think it was Larry Robinson.
No, yeah, but Canadians were good in '79,
were.
right? Then they won the cup. They won the cup in '79.
Yeah.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Larry Robinson.
Yeah, there it is, Bill.
You cannot go to a Rangers game without hearing this person's name.
It still was Potvin sucks.
It was Potvin.
Oh.
No,
Oh,
30,
I guess-
31 goals,
thought-
70 assists.
we're gonna
I thought
believe
my-
you when you say it wasn't. Dennis
I
Potvin.
thought, okay, all right, whatever. I thought you said my guess was, yeah, whatever.
I didn't say anything. I just looked at you.
I was just saying
Oh.
Potvin sucks.
Okay.
Oh.
You look at me. It looks like you're looking at all of us. I don't see how you're looking at me.
Well, you're down there. And now it's time for trivia with Bill.
Wait,
Yes.
we're still doing trivia?
Now this is the wrong bell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
Well,
stealing his segment.
I have to get the 10th question out of the way, or else we're out of sync.
It was a bonus. It was a bonus question.
I was a great bonus question, Stephen.
Good. So now that we're on our trivia answering toes, we'll probably get this one really quickly. That's great.
Probably.
Wayne
The
Gretzky.
question, that is B. He was B on this list, but it was not him. He was B on
Ugh.
multiple choice,
God
not
damn it.
Wayne Gretzky. Okay, so the question:
Mark
Who-
Messier.
Mark Messier is not on. No, is not the answer, and is not on the list. The question: Who?
Mario
was the-
Lemieux.
It's not Mario Lemieux. Should I ask the question at all, or
No, yeah, of
Or you
course you
guys
should.
should-
How
of
are we
course,
going to
go right
answer the
ahead.
question if we don't know the question?
that's what I've been trying to figure out
Yeah,
through the
duh.
first three
Jesus,
guesses.
Bill.
Duh.
Who was the first?
Grand Fjord.
No, it wasn't Grant Fuhr. Why? Unless the question was who are former Oilers, why would you guess Gretzky and Grant Fuhr as being on the same? Because Gretzky was on the multiple choice.
All right, Bill. Just ask. What's the
ask the
question, Bill?
question.
Jesus Christ.
Who was the first?
Brett Hull.
It was not Brett Hull. No, I guess. So I guess you guys are just guessing until.
No,
we get
we're
the
waiting
name.
for you to ask the question.
That's a stupid question.
Who was the first?
Gordie
NHL
Howe.
Gordie Howe is C on the multiple choice. Is not the correct answer. It's
Oh,
not the correct answer.
So close.
So you want me to just
Man.
give you the two multiple choice?
nope. I want you to ask the
answers?
question.
No, we
Yeah,
haven't heard
we've
the
only been
question.
waiting
yet.
10
How the hell
minutes.
I
is
know
this
because you interrupt me every time I try to ask the question.
God.
Who was the first NHL player to score 50 goals in a season? Whew. I never took that long to get a question out before.
All right, it'll be
I'm
longer
exhausted.
next week. Don't you worry.
Brad
Um,
Park.
That's what my check was telling me, but that never happens.
Steve the Red Rocket Geiserman.
Ooh, Red Rocket, come over.
Not Steve Eisman. No, he was not the first 50 goal scorer.
David
Bob,
Pastrnak.
Pastrnak, no, like a current player, not the first 50 goal scorer. This happened a
Oh.
while ago.
Well, he had 6.
Not surprisingly.
Bob Probert.
Bob Probert did not reach the 50 goal plateau, surprisingly, in his illustrious career.
I thought
Dean
doing
Youngblood.
career.
Youngblood, that's a fictional character. We're not looking for a fictional character. We are looking for a former NHL player. We're a real one.
Is this player a forward?
Yes.
Is this player
Yes,
associated with the New Jersey Devils?
No.
Is this
No,
player
no,
associated with the
no.
New York Islanders?
Are you confusing this with the next segment?
This is the wrong segment
it's
for
the
these
wrong-
questions.
Yes.
Well, we did trivia
but
already, so you can see he's out of order a little bit.
He was not an Islander. No.
Gordie Howe.
That was a guess already. When you listen back,
You're gonna laugh.
You're gonna laugh.
You're gonna
I'm
laugh.
laughing already.
No, it was not Gordie Howe.
Was this
Do you-
before forward passes were legal?
In football, because
In
forward passes were
NHL.
always legal in the NHL.
Is it
This was-
Hobie Baker?
No, not Hobie. Not Hobie.
It was Teemu Solani.
No, not the Finnish Flash. No,
Is it Ted Lindsay?
no. Do you want the other
Pavel
multiple choices?
Bure.
Pavel Bure. Oh
Mm,
no,
Russian Rocket. You're all
Candace
about the
Bure.
Rocket tonight, Nick.
yeah,
Did
lots of
Pavel
rockets.
Buchnevich.
And not Pavel Buchnevich.
Okay.
You should really keep going on the rocket theme, though. I like that rocket theme.
Okay.
Alex Cherepanov.
Hakeem Elijah.
He's dead. No, no, not that. Not a Houston Rocket.
Well, you gotta specify. Jesus.
It's still an NHL player.
Spud Webb.
No, don't start. Please don't go down to the NBA path.
Tony Esposito.
A goaltender. No. Interestingly, no. Yeah,
I'm
there's no goaltenders that
googling
scored
the
50.
answer right now.
Well,
Oh,
he had a
good.
lot of brothers, right? That whole family.
They were one of the top scoring brothers in history. Sets of brothers in history. That's for sure.
No doubt.
Along with Wayne and Brent Gretzky.
What about their other? What about his other brother?
There's another Esposito.
Yeah, Bobby Esposito.
Bobby Esposito.
Yeah, he's a good
Not
Italian
familiar.
kid.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Okay, so
And Luke Esposito and Harry Esposito, the whole Esposito gang.
it's a fairly common.
Father Meridian, Uncle Meridian, all the
Yeah.
little Meridians.
You really have watched Johnny Changerson a lot this week.
So in the interest of like that type 45, I don't know if we want to jump ahead to the multiple
All right,
choice.
give us the other two guesses. It's Rocket Richard and who else?
Rocket Richard is correct. Yay!
Oh,
Wow.
look at that.
Eddie
Well
Shore
done.
was the other multiple choice.
Oh,
Sure it was.
That's correct. That's what I
That's
said.
great.
Wow.
That's great.
Oh,
and now it's time for impressions with Nick.
Fucking great. Ladies and gentlemen, the Friends of Bravo podcast. You're ready for the fastest 2 minutes of this Type 45 show. It's the 20 questions power play. The rules are simple. The group has 2 minutes to guess a famous player, coach, front office, or any famous person associated with one of the 4 Friends and Rivals favorite teams. The group can ask up to 20 questions in rapid fire. Answers will only come in the form of yes or no. The group will have to make a final guess once they've hit 20 questions or the power play has expired. If the group is successful, they win for the week and avoid shame for unable to win at a children's game. And away we go.
Is this player associated with the New York Rangers?
Yes.
Person associated with the New Jersey Devils.
Yes.
who is this person associated with the New York Islanders?
No.
Person associated with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes.
Islander? No. A Devil, Ranger, Penguin.
Yes.
Did this player play in the 2000s?
Yes.
This player a forward.
Yes.
Is this player an all-star?
No.
Oh,
Marty
shit.
Straka?
No.
I think Aaron Asham happened already a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. Kevin Weeks happened.
Ugh.
Did this player win a Stanley Cup with the New Jersey Devils? 2000 or 2003?
No.
Was it Mike Rupp?
No.
Brian Boyle.
No.
Damn good guess, Bill.
Dang it. Jaromir Jagr?
No.
Figured that was too high profile.
Yeah,
Oh, he was an
an
all-star.
all-star.
Too,
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Hard to
think
of a
Yager
few.
was an all-star.
Was he?
Was Peter Sakura?
Nope.
That was a good guess. That was a good poll. Yeah. But he was on the Cup teams with the Devils, so.
Well, whose birthday is today?
We got one last
All
shot.
right.
Who's
One
taking a
shot. Anybody? Bueller? Steve should take a guess.
What?
Steve should take a guess.
I agree.
Why?
Because we don't know.
Because it was mainly a devil, it sounds like. I don't
Thank you, Bill.
know. No, there you go. Okay. I was
So
right
fucking
myself
smart.
I really have nothing now.
then.
All right. Yep.
I got nothing.
All right. This fella was drafted in the 93 NHL draft, 3rd round by the New Jersey Devils,
That helps.
and he was a left winger from Poland, Krzysztof Odewa.
He was a Ranger?
Brief time.
That was brief.
Wow.
9 games played, not very much.
Oh,
really,
Jesus Christ.
really not much. He got traded, I guess, during that season, early in the season. He played 9 games. Played 9 games to the Rangers and 33 for Boston. But the way it's organized, it looks like they traded him to Boston. I don't know. Anyway, he played most of his career for the Devils. 5 years, 210 games. And he played 2 seasons for Pittsburgh, only 83 games. And those 9 games for the Rangers. But he did have a catchy chant. It was
upsetting.
Krzysztof Odewa. Krzysztof Odewa.
I don't ever remember doing that.
I did that at a Devils game. I remember it
Don't ever remember doing that.
because he was, I remember him being like hitting things and fighting people.
And yeah,
blah,
absolutely.
blah.
Tough guy fan favorite.
Fun. You guys lost this one.
Christoph Olio. We're
Gotcha.
we're 0 for
We're on a
last
losing
3.
streak.
Ugh.
Christoph's birthday is April 12th. He is going to be 49 years old.
That's
Going to
fantastic.
be. That's always great. Going to be.
49 years
Nobody.
young.
First of all, nobody asked you. Second of all, that's in 2 days. Why don't you wait till somebody asks you next time?
Well, time 45. Come on. Come
Wow.
on, dude.
Yeah.
11
right.
for 21 is the running total,
Oh.
just for the record. Those of you keeping
Our
score at
percentage
home,
is dropping like a rock.
We're still over 50% though.
yeah.
Bill, check my math. Okay, let's go to this date in Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Round here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way to go.
This one's going to bring us to the year of our Lord 2012. Please go to July 20th.
You said
July
2014.
20.
Did you change on Steve?
No.
Tom? Because now
2012.
he's going
I'm
to dig out
sorry.
the right book.
July. What?
Was it 14? Yeah, it's
I thought you
2014.
said 14.
At 14. I did say
Are-
2014.
Right now, you said 2012.
Oh, did I?
We've
I,
got-
I honest to God,
You got
think I
3
was-
witnesses.
I
I was
fucking.
looking
What am I
at-
doing here? I got 2 books out.
It's the
I got
2014.
2 out now. I don't know which one to
Too
go
many
to.
books.
Definitely
Too many
2014. I'm
books.
sorry.
Boy, this is fucking ponderous, man. Ponderous, fucking ponderous.
Too many books.
My bad. I was looking at July
I
20th.
just made a mess over here because I had to scramble to get to the 2012 book.
Oh boy.
Well, we can look at that
Jesus.
one too. It's no problem.
2014, July 14th. I think that's how the Europeans say the date.
July 20th.
July 20th.
July 20th was a Sunday. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar can for breakfast only.
Only soda for breakfast. Gotcha.
Only soda for breakfast because we were
Yeah.
going to a friend's a birthday party for their child, where I had a pork chop and some chicken salad and some tater tots with 2 Coca-Cola Zero Sugars. Why did you pick July 20th, 2014?
That was the day that 2 people
Who?
were arrested for allegedly engaging in sex on the beach. Not the drink. Oh, no. In daylight and in full view of a number of families with children.
Wow.
Jose Benny
The Jet
Caballero.
Rodriguez?
No.
Oh.
Benny Caballero, 39, and Alyssa Alvarez, 20. Both of
Ooh.
Bradenton, Florida, each face charges of lewd and I can't even pronounce that word. How did you know that?
Is it-
Behavior.
Because a lot of times in news reports, once you hear the word lewd,
Is
that
are
follows
you
it near
Benny?
after,
Are you
yes.
Benny? My God.
He's like, I've got the mug shot.
A witness told police she saw the couple go at it for about 25 minutes. Good job, Benny. 25 minutes. Woo! On their beach towel.
She got offended that she's never gotten it for 25 minutes. That's why she was complaining to the cops.
Break for a quick swim, then fall asleep for what seemed like hours at Cortez Beach in South Bradenton. The complainant was upset because her 4-year-old daughter witnessed the scene and started asking questions, according to the police report. She said the couple woke up, fondled each other, and started having sex again. At this point, the women said the onlookers called police. Another witness confronted the couple before police arrived. In the 911 call, a witness told the dispatcher that the couple cannot stop getting naked.
Wait a minute. 911 call? I get if you're going to be a jerk off about it, that you're going to call the police because, they're having sex in front of my kids. Is that a fucking emergency?
Well,
two consensual people
called the
screwing?
non-emergency police line. No one knows that number.
It's not 911.
It's not 911. 911 is very easy to remember and dial. Anyway, they cannot stop getting naked. She's described the man as muscular and wearing a Speedo.
Of course. Well, easy access.
Wait, you were afraid I was going to say a chicken costume. At least 6 people filed complaints with the Bradenton Beach Police Department. Alvarez and Caballero denied having sex on the beach, even although Alvarez admitted to taking off her top, saying she was just having fun. One of the witnesses filmed redtube.com /sex on the beach. One of the witnesses filmed the couple with a camera phone and then turned the video over to police to be used as evidence. However,
to be used.
Yeah. He said the footage doesn't really show anything because the couples were still wearing their bathing suits.
You gotta
Nice videos.
You got to get the Bob shot in order to really.
Yeah. Sounds like they really kablew this one.
All you can really see is grinding, the police officer said. That's great. Caballeros were arrested and taken to the Manatee County Jail, where they each posted a $7,500 bond and were released.
Tom's a creep. Tom is a weirdo. Where does he come up with the shit? It's so disgusting.
I love that the woman that they interviewed early in the article, she didn't complain to the police. She was just complaining to the newspaper reporter, right?
Well, she was bitching and moaning that her 4-year-old daughter was started asking her questions.
But she's not the one that called the cops.
It
It didn't seem like she was the one that called the cops.
No, they stopped talking about her and went on to other witnesses that confronted the couple. Muscular and wearing a Speedo. Ooh, they cannot stop getting naked. Billy had that problem, and then we had an intervention. Now he's better.
No, Bill. No, we said don't.
Goddamn.
That's mild for Florida.
Yeah, well, listen, people,
It's just people screwing.
There's something about having sex in public that really just turns people on.
I don't know. Crowded beach, middle of the day. That's
Sounds amazing.
brazen.
I'm guessing
no.
they might have been slightly inebriated, or they were under the influence of something. I'm guessing.
Had to be 25
Just
minutes.
guessing.
Had to be, right?
We put some sort of numbing cream on.
Did they have hymns back then?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm just trying to think about what cell phone was out in 2014. That video is probably so pixelated.
2014. We were
I feel like
in
that would have been like
iPhone.
an iPhone 7 or something.
You're probably right on there. You're probably right on or around there. Even still, that was a pretty decent camera.
Yeah.
No, nothing else. All right, that's good. That's gonna do it for us this week. Tight 45. Don't forget to go on to Twitter at friends_rivals, Facebook, YouTube, Friends and Rivals Podcast. While you're on Apple Podcast, go and give us a review. We will read on the air if you want us to. While you're there, turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of the Friends and Rivals Tomcast. Billy, say something witty.
Well, related to your story, there was some video of the police arresting Mr. Alvarez, Mr. Jose Benny Alvarez, and they said, "You're being charged with lewd and lascivious." And then he was like, "No, what? Lascivious? What's my sister got to do with this?"
Oh, my friends and rivals. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off.